just about superheroes rescuing the world or their country. Even though we often consider the people returning from war as heroes, the harsh reality is that many of them end up suffering and are deeply affected by the brutality of war. Many films are currently striving to depict the reality of war and provide historically accurate information. To discover the truth about war through movies, consider checking out these films. If you're like me and love the perfect blend of action, drama, and real historical events, you're in for a wild ride. But before we jump into the action-packed list, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our epic content. Alright troops, get ready to explore the battlefield of historically accurate military movies. Let's roll. Dunkirk. In May-June 1940, around 400,000 British and French soldiers are stuck in Dunkirk, a French port town. The Germans, with air superiority, are bombing them with little resistance. With the situation looking dire, Britain sends not only its navy but also civilian boats to evacuate the trapped forces. The movie tells this story through the eyes of a soldier among the stranded forces, 2 Royal Air Force fighter pilots, and a group of civilians on their boat in the evacuation fleet. While the characters in Dunkirk are fictional or a blend of real evacuation figures, much of the film stays true to the actual events. It's rated highly for accuracy, avoiding major historical inaccuracies. The characters invented by director Christopher Nolan serve the narrative realistically, and the scenes either depict real events or closely align with first-hand accounts. Dunkirk fits into Nolan's exploration of human instincts and the primal drive for survival. The straightforward portrayal of characters allows the audience to relate their own anxieties to the raw necessity for survival in challenging circumstances. Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. The 2003 film Master and Commander is based on Patrick O'Brian's novel The Far Side of the World, both of which are centered on events from the War of 1812 between Britain and the United States. The story is drawn from O'Brian's Aubrey Maturin novels, which themselves are inspired by real events in the Napoleonic Wars. While the film doesn't precisely match events from a specific novel, it captures the essence of O'Brian's work and the historical context of the Napoleonic Wars. The movie may dramatize aspects for intensity, but it is remarkably accurate in portraying the history and events of that time. Featuring awe-inspiring battle and boat scenes, Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World is an epic that delves into the principles of duty and love of country among the crew of the HMS, surprise, Generation Kill. The movie Generation Kill is based on the first-hand experiences of journalist Evan Wright, who traveled from Kuwait to Baghdad in 2003. While actors portray the Marines in the HBO version, the stories are real. Former Marines Evan Stafford and Josh Ray Person, both from the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion, share their insights on the show. Known for its realism, the miniseries is estimated to be about 60 to 70% accurate by Person, with some elements deviating from real-life events, but not impacting major aspects of the deployment. The recurring characters in the series are mainly members of the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion, led by Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Godfather Ferrando, portrayed by Chance Kelly. Interestingly, 3 former 1st Reconnaissance Marines who took part in the Iraq invasion were involved in the show. Rudy Reyes, known as Fruity Rudy, played himself, while Eric Coker served as a technical advisor on the set and also played Gunnery Sergeant Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket realistically depicts the harsh realities of the Vietnam War, offering a glimpse into the experiences of American soldiers. The film draws inspiration from true stories of the war, adapting material from the semi-autobiographical novel The Short-Timers by Gustav Hasford. Although the movie is set in the US Marine boot camp, it was filmed at a British Army training base because the director, Stanley Kubrick, spent most of his life in the UK. While the term literary fiction is used for the movie, it is heavily influenced by Kubrick's own experiences, and The Short-Timers is described as semi-autobiographical. While Full Metal Jacket is not a fully accurate portrayal of Vietnam War events, it is loosely inspired by real stories from that tumultuous time. The film adaptation is based on the novel by US Marine Corps veteran Gustav Hasford, titled The Short-Timers. It's worth noting that Gomer Pyle, a character introduced in The Andy Griffith Show, is a fictional creation played by Jim Nabors and is unrelated to Full Metal Jacket. The Big Red One. The Big Red One, released in 1980, is an autobiographical portrayal of Samuel Fuller's old unit, the 16th Regiment of the 1st Infantry Division, identifiable by their Big Red No. 1 insignia. Despite being discursive, the film is impactful. The storyline follows a tough sergeant and the core members of his infantry unit as they navigate the challenges of World War II, engaging in battles across Europe. In evaluating Samuel Fuller's war movie, we'll compare Hollywood fiction to historical reality. Drawing from Fuller's personal WW2 experiences, the film features Lee Marvin as the fearless sergeant leading a special infantry squadron through various war campaigns. The Big Red One not only stands as one of the greatest W2 films, but also ranks among the best war movies overall. While the movie is fictional, it is influenced by real events. Certain scenes, such as one involving older Sicilian women cooking a meal for the squad, feel authentic. Fuller's honest storytelling adds to the film's value, preserving this narrative for the audience. Jarhead. Jarhead, a 2005 American war drama, is based on Anthony Swofford's 2003 memoir about his experiences in the U.S. Marine Corps during the Persian Gulf War. Swofford, an American writer and former Marine, wrote the book, and it became the inspiration for the film directed by Sam Mendes. The term Jarheads is slang used by sailors to refer to Marines, dating back to World War II. It originated from the Marines' appearance in their dress blue uniforms, where the high collar and the Marines' heads popping out resembled a mason jar. While Jarhead claims to provide an apolitical view of Marine life during Operation Desert Shield Storm, the film often alludes to the ongoing war in Iraq, despite the official stance that it's a true account of a war from a decade ago. The Longest Day, a 1962 American war film, is based on Cornelius Ryan's non-fiction book about the D-Day landings in Normandy on June 6, 1944. Darryl F. Zanuck produced the film, and he aimed for accuracy by casting actors, including Richard Todd from Britain, who had served in World War II. The movie tells the story of the massive invasion planned by the U.S. Army and Allied forces in Normandy, despite challenging weather conditions. General Dwight D. Eisenhower gives the green light, and the Allies land at Normandy. General Norm Makota leads his men onto Omaha Beach, facing significant challenges and casualties. As the Allies push deep into French territory, the German military's delayed response, influenced by arrogance and a sleeping Adolf Hitler, has severe consequences. For those interested, there is a free screening of The Longest Day at the U.S. Freedom Pavilion. The Boeing Center, offering a perspective on the D-Day landings. Blackhawk Down. The action and war drama film Blackhawk Down are based on a true story documented in a best-selling book. The events unfolded during a risky mission in Somalia on October 3, 1993, where nearly 100 U.S. Army Rangers, led by Captain Mike Steele, were inserted deep into Mogadishu to capture 2 lieutenants of a Somali warlord. The incident began with Delta Force arresting 20 Somalis, leading to an assault where a Black Hawk helicopter was shot down, and the rescuers faced an ambush. Tragically, 18 Americans lost their lives. The movie captures just a small part of the servicemen involved. A total of 450 men were part of Task Force Ranger for Operation Gothic Serpent in Somalia. Mark Bowden's book, Black Hawk Down, delves into about 90 of their stories, while the film focuses on only a fraction of that. Saving Private Ryan, released in 1998, Saving Private Ryan set a high standard for World War II movies. What many don't realize is that the film's inspiration came from the Nyland brothers, 4 siblings who served in the U.S. Army during the war. The movie vividly portrays the chaos of the Normandy invasion and the subsequent mission to locate Private Ryan, the only surviving brother after his 3 siblings are killed. By highlighting the messy and uncertain nature of war, the film reminds us that the people in World War II were often regular individuals without military backgrounds, facing fear and making tough decisions. In the climactic scene at Ramel Village, Miller's squad finds Private Ryan, who, along with his comrades, is safeguarding one of the last two bridges at the Murderate River. We Were Soldiers. In 1965, Colonel Moore led the 1st Battalion of the 7th Cavalry in the Ia Drang Valley Battle, and reporter Joe Galloway witnessed the events. The movie We Were Soldiers, starring Mel Gibson, reflects Moore's actions. The film closely follows the real events of the 34-day campaign and the 4-day battle in November 1965, where 234 Americans died. The book, We Were Soldiers Once and Young, details the fates of every trooper involved. The movie takes time to make us care about each character before portraying the intense action. Amidst the multitude of war films, We Were Soldiers stands out for honoring the men who fought and the women they loved. Directed by Randall Wallace, the 2002 film is based on the book by Lieutenant General Hal Moore and Joe Galloway, providing a dramatization of the Battle of Ia Drang on November 14, 1965. If you found a new favorite flick or relived the intensity of a classic, don't forget to show some love by smashing that like button and hitting subscribe. Your support keeps the movie magic alive on this channel. Drop a comment below and let me know which historically accurate military movie is your absolute favorite, or if there's one we missed that deserves a spot on the list. Remember, the real heroes are the ones who engage with the content.